Jensen still improving, of course. We know he's got about a tenth of a second in the lap. I think that was Eggles now putting himself up into 7th place. Lovely stuff from the McLaren driver after making that mistake earlier on his previous attempt. So for Jensen, what we're going to see in that middle sector split. Oh, look at that. Nearly a tenth and a half up on his pole position lap time. This will be sheer domination. Raxi has just started his final lap, so all eyes will be on him after the Scuderia Ferrari of Jensen Ralston gallops he's away across the start-finish line. DRS open for Ralston. What improvement can we see? 2/10 improvement. A free dead from Jensen Ralston. A brilliant lap time from the Ferrari. Raxi is up by half a tenth in the middle sector, but more drivers are about to come across the line to set their laps. Who's going to be next to the line? Love Exotic heading through the final quarter across the line. He goes to the second row of the grid as Liam Doherty has invalidated his next attempt. So let's go back to actually go Ghosty quickly because he's a little bit further around. He's 300th down on his lap. He's aborted and going into the pit lane. So let's turn our eyes to that man on the front row of the grid alongside Ralston, but battling for that pole position. Can he snatch it away from the Ferrari at the death? Here comes Raxi to the line. Across the line he goes, and it's not enough to beat Jensen Ralston. Anyone else still coming to the line? Demboa across the line, 3 attempts down. Voitas Luva across the line. He goes into 8th place. And it is sheer domination here in the hills of Spielberg. Jensen Ralston in qualifying. A 1:03.014. 2 attempts clear of his closest rival, Jensen, coming back after a race away in Saudi Arabia with a bang. And gets pole position here in Styria.
But today, Jensen Ralston is back on pole position by 2/10 of a second. The 2-time champion versus the emerging challenger. It's lights out and away we go. He gets away well, but Raxi alongside already heading up to turn 1. Jensen pulls ahead. We've got a bit of contact with the Alpine behind. Both the Aston Martins closing up on the run up to turn number 2 and turn number 3. We've got cars side by side. That's Thunderino and Exotic as they head up to turn number 3. Past turn number 2 is an Exotic down the inside. Jensen Ralston keeps his race lead. Both the Aston Martins in formation as Liam Doherty still in P4. Chris is still in P5. Eggles making his way up. Flume also. Exotic being bogged down all the way to P9. Ben Huskins also losing position. JTK going down the inside. Round turn number 5 is still side by side with JTK and Raxi, and JTK pulls ahead on those more grippy, medium compound, yellow striped medium tyres as he sets his sights on Jensen Ralston. But a good start for Jensen Ralston and both the Aston Martins. Who can get closer? Who can make these early moves as Liam Doherty is still also in P4? Absolutely, as I've just seen JTK, he made a mistake on the exit of turn number 9 on the curb. He's now being pressurised by Raxi, but I think he might be pressurised into the move, going down the inside up to turn number 3. As he's still defending from Raxi as well. Liam Doherty, he's getting pressurised by Thunderino on the exit of turn number 3. Can Thunderino close in at the top? JTK taking the lead of the race, pulling ahead just before the breaking point, and on the medium tyres, pulls ahead of Jensen Ralston and into the race lead. Liam Doherty has just fended Thunderino off as he's starting to get his elbows out. It's only lap 3. We've got 33 to go. The DRS being enabled, keeping everyone in that train all the way down to McDonas in P14. And we'll see if they can get back in the train later on.
That is certainly going to be the question, but both RBs are struggling in this Grand Prix, and here comes Jensen Ralston once again at the front of the field to move himself in front of JTK. And Raxi, will he follow him through? No, he will not. His teammate just sitting behind for now, but there's been a move there from Flume, maybe to the inside there, outside, sorry, of Thunderino. Not able to get the move done, but here comes Love Exotic, capitalising on Luva, just drifting a little bit wide from the exit of the corner, and he's just not been able to get the run down into the swash goal, but late on the brakes, nearly into the back of the Ferrari, but manages to avoid that rear diffuser there and sit in that 8th place, and Seth Martin just wasn't able to capitalise when he needed to the most. Ghosty now past McDonald's, Bove past Assum as they're now side by side, actually between Ghosty and McDonald's, heading through turn 6. The V-Carb just holding this one to the outside line. Unfortunately, McDonald's able to stay in front for now, and that's actually allowed Antonio Bove to get the run here in the Alpine. There goes Bove. I think Ghosty is just going to back out of this one, but this is going to allow Atom to just slide it round the outside. Is he going to be able to do that in the Williams? Now the outside for turn 10. There's some contact made. Gary Freeleg might get involved in some scraps here as Exotic able to get past Luva into turn 1, forces the Ferrari wide, and now the McLaren driver is ahead once again. But, crucially, that could be under review later on for a little bit of a push to pass, as there's JTK to the inside of Jensen Rowson. They're still squabbling side by side. Rowson's got the DRS now, heading down into turn 4. Exotic's been able to actually dropped out of DRS from Flume in front, so he's got a lot of work to do with Voitis Luva side by side with him now into the Swatch Gold, but Exotic able to stay in front for now. Rowson was able to keep his race lead on this 7th lap of the Grand Prix, and for Love Exotic, he's just gonna have to try get back within that DRS, which he has done, and the top 6 thinking they could maybe break away, but unfortunately Exotic has brought it back down in his favour.
No real stress on each other's shoulders. It's only lap 8, but here goes Raxi on the both going side by side, 3 wide as we head up to turn number 3. The Aston Martin trying to go down the inside, but still has to drop back behind JTK side by side on the exit of turn number 3. Can he make the move when at least his teammate is Liam Doherty? He's starting to pressurise JTK as well, but in the kick Sauber, can he make a move? I don't think he can, but still JTK trying to keep his nose in on his teammate Raxi. They're definitely not going easy on each other, but Raxi keeps the move on the exit of turn number 5 as Jensen Ralston just sitting at the front, sitting quite happy. Didn't really need to get involved on the exit of turn number 3, but the Ferrari loving it, living it large at the top as Raxi now in behind JTK. He did start to struggle on the last lap. Is this going to be the drop-off of the mediums? It's only lap 8, but yeah, JTK, is it pace or is he just struggling overall? As there he goes wide at turn number 10 once again, but the Aston Martin seeming to be struggling. Here we go, lap 11, Jensen Ralston already got a fantastic exit out of turn 1 before the DRS has even been enabled. Was almost pulling alongside as he pulls into that race lead once again. The Ferrari is just so quick. The grip he managed to get, the traction out of each corner, it is phenomenal to see. As on the exit, Exotic and Liam Doherty. Oh, Exotic and Funderino. Sorry, I lost for words there. It went side by side. Exotic just pinging the back of Funderino, and now Funderino's massive streak on the podium, I'm sure, might just come to an end. He's got massive wing damage as it went into the wall on the exit of turn 3, but big crash in the top pack. Exotic and Chris's Pilacoris into the wall, but Liam Doherty still well and truly in it on the medium compounded tyres though. We'll see the strategies unfold soon enough. It's only lap 14, people starting to pit as Raxi takes the lead once again.
Yeah, Raxi using the DRS to counter Jensen Ralston once more. Of course, we're going to see that a lot in this Grand Prix. Just the DRS switches, just to make sure they're not under a lot of pressure heading down into turn 4 once, if they do sit behind. And also, Jensen Ralston did sit behind through turn 3, and then JTK could have sent a move up the inside, but luckily they go for that switch with the DRS and are able to get by quite easily. So McDonald's all over the back of Icky Robbo, not able to get the move done. They're 5 seconds behind Sensei Demboa, so it's been a disastrous Grand Prix for the likes of Robbo and Demboa, as we then head into the penultimate 2 corners with the front of the field. And look at that, Raxi going a little bit wide this time. So now the other Aston Martin struggling with the track limits, and that's allowed Ralston to get the run, but he's just going to have to sit behind. He's going to sit behind for that DRS and make the run up through turn 3 once more. So it'll be DRS open for the Scuderia Ferrari. All the horses in the back of that car prancing alongside, galloping away, and he moves himself back up into that race lead. We're about to hit half race distance within the next few laps as Eggles is able to get past Fortis Luva for that 6th place, and he's now squabbling with Ben Huskins over 5th in this Grand Prix. Yeah, he certainly will have to show some good paces. Here comes JTK on Gary Freeleg, moving himself up into 9th place. Nice and easy. And look at Liam Doherty with a 2.5 from the kick Sauber, sending that from miles back, and was still able to get the car stopped before going into the back of JTK, and also getting past Gary Freeleg cleanly. A brilliant move there from Doherty, and already a contender for one of the moves of the season. Further up, we see Ralston all over the back of Raxi. Of course, these hard tyre runners will probably run until about a lap 2021, is what I'm predicting they will run to in this session, as there goes Ralston past Raxi quite easily. And here comes Eggles and Voitis Luva on Ben Huskins. He's going to look to the outside line as Voitis, maybe to the inside of Eggles as well. But no, he's just going to sit behind, or is he? Eggles makes the mistake, but so does Luva. And when he could had an opportunistic move down into the Swash Gold after Eggles going wide with a slide, Voitis Luva makes it go one step worse and does a massive slide of his own. JTK is now just having Liam Doherty for company as they're trying to make their way through the field. Of course, on those fresh hards, going for that undercut. Them two need to work together. Look at the gap that JTK and Liam Doherty have as they're now passing McDonas.
Absolutely, I think it's going 3 wide up there as well. Here we go, up to turn 3, and it's still side by... Oh, it goes off there. It's Liam Doherty. He's forced off the track as McDonas pulls ahead. But here we go, Liam Doherty coming back, as I think it was actually Flume in behind with Raxi. But here we go, Liam Doherty pulls ahead, heading up to turn number 4 and 5. But the kick Sauber all squirrely at turn 3 there. He went 3 wide up there with, I think it was Flume, Seth Martin and Raxiak, if I'm not wrong. I was all over the place there. But Liam Doherty pulls into P3 and already right on the back of JTK, but Jensen Ralston not far behind. They haven't really pulled much of an undercut, have JTK and Liam Doherty. There's only a few cars in between them. And they made the DRS train. Well, the DRS train has returned already. So, going wide there. I think that was Jensen Ralston on McDonas trying to get through. Going a bit wide at turn number 10, but heading up to turn 1. He already pulls ahead, and Jensen Ralston is through on the Haas. ATK 2 seconds clear already. Pulling away from these guys. Battling in between. But Jensen Ralston gets past Liam Doherty.
Nicely done there from Ralston. Brilliant way to work his way through the field. And now passing Denborough as well, but can't count out Doherty to make a lunge up into turn 3. He's going to go for it as the kick Sauber, just not close enough to pull alongside. And now Ralston will be chasing that Aston Martin down, and JTK will surely not be able to repeat the feat he did last week with a race victory. As there goes Raxi as well down to the inside of the kick Sauber. We have our 2 protagonists for this race victory, Ralston versus Raxi, and JTK can help out his teammate. He can be the man in the middle and certainly could play a favour to Raxi, who's chasing that championship lead for the first time this season. Of course, at this stage there is a gap of 9 points between Raxi and Thunderino. But here comes Jensen Ralston and also Raxi. They're going to look to that left-hand side and breeze by they go. The Ferrari and the Aston Martin now hit the forefront of the field with a total of 12 laps to go. Jensen Ralston is really in prime position to take this race victory, but we can't count out Raxi either. And maybe now that JTK and Doherty are in that DRS, which we saw Doherty do over the course of these past few laps, they could certainly just wait in the wings and just sit there in the shadows, try and keep that DRS range for maybe a final lap opportunity.
Absolutely, it's all kicking off in the midfield pack as well. Still side by side is Thunderino, Ben Huskins round the outside goes Ben Huskins at turn number 6. It's fantastic, but I tell you what, Thunderino got the traction on the exit and is keeping that move as well. The Mercedes still trying to fight back on the exit at turn number 8. Heading to turn 9, has to stay behind, but it's all heating up and he's starting to boil here in the midfield pack for the final major points. It's Seth Martin, Flume and Thunderino. He's going to try to get on the back end as well. There goes Flume once again on Seth Martin as we head up past turn 1. Raxi takes the lead of the race once again past Jensen Ralston. These guys already gapping 6/10 to JTK. And that's just a mega already. These two are going to surely get a way out of DRS soon enough. But here we go. There goes Seth Martin on Flume once again. Down the inside goes Eggles on Ben Huskins as Thunderino just keeping out of it all. Watching the battle behind, watching the battle in front, as I'm sure he's going to try and pick these off as well. near the end of the Grand Prix. Still 10 laps to go. Eggles going for a move on Voiter's loop. I don't know if we were defending there, but it looked like a big dive from Eggles, and he's still kept that move heading round turn 5 and into P9. All these guys having penalties. I'll check how much they are now. But yeah, this is for on track then, as every single one of them has a 3-second time penalty. So whoever takes it on track will get the place.
And JTK looking to go back-to-back. Saudi Arabia and now Austria. 2 races, 2 victories this season. And maybe that championship charge could certainly be on. But here comes Raxi to the outside now of Jensen Ralston. JTK's teammate now going to try follow him through on that outside line up into turn 3. Is JTK going to be able to pull this one off? This will be a brilliant move now to the outside. But they both have DRS. It's a drag race down into the Swash Gold. Raxi giving his slipstream to his teammate. But no, not able to get the move done as JTK. Or is he? There was a gap just wide enough for that Aston Martin to fit in. Won't be able to get it done. And now he has to wait that little bit longer, but showing he's not afraid to get those elbows out. And JTK really is starting to put those medium tyre runners under pressure.
This train still fighting absolute crazy up to turn 3 and turn 4. Every single lap, as we're going to see once more. Flume gets past. Oh, he's going 3 wide there. Down the inside goes Eggles. Oh, a bit of contact on the exit. There goes Ben Huskins with a bit of a switchback on the outside lines. Flies to the inside line as it's all chaos once again. As soon as I ride on board with the midfield pack, they decide to go 3 wide with Eggles, Seth, Voiter, Chrisis, Ben Huskins as well. But it's absolute chaos once again. Eggles at the back. Now Seth all the way at the back as well. He's not going to be best pleased. He was sitting in P5 with Flume for quite a long time. And he's now demoted back to the back of this pack at the P5 downwards. But it's a shame for Seth Martin. Can he fight his way through? Ben Huskins up to P6. Thunderino still in P7. Flume still in P5. It's all still to play for the, still major points really from P5 downwards. Into turn 1, who's going to take it all the way up to turn 3? Jensen Ralston is experienced in these situations like he did in WOR, and he tried to do it here against Liam Doxey, but Liam Doxey got the better hand and he pulled into that race lead. Does Jensen Ralston? Can he get a good enough exit on Raxi once again? The long run down to turn 4. Who's going to take this one? Who's going to take it into turn 4 on the exit? It's going to be Raxi with that DRS. He's going to fly to the inside line on the Ferrari. It's outside line for Jensen Ralston. Can he keep it with the traction on the exit? Bit of contact made between the pair. The Aston Martin is going to have to go the long way round into turn 6. It's Ferrari versus Aston Martin. Still going for this one is Raxi, and Jensen Ralston swoops to the inside line. So does JTK, who gets his elbows out as we're heading to turn 9 and turn 10. Liam Doxey also putting pressure on Raxi. Raxi drops all the way down to P4. Here we go side by side. JTK going for a move on Jensen Ralston. Can he pull it off? Round the outside once again is Jensen Ralston, who's got the line, but JTK to the line. He's going to take it. In Canada, he was denied by Jensen Ralston by a few thousand, but this time it's JTK on the offset strategy. He stayed in that DRS all that time as Liam Doherty takes P3. But what a race, what a battle. JTK expecting no pace, but he's done a reverse Canada this time. He's got his revenge on Jensen Ralston as JTK wins the Grand Prix here in Austria. What a lap, what a battle. And what a race from JTK. Jensen Ralston tried everything he could to defend that one. He couldn't quite do it on track. It was so close to the line.